AT&T and the drug company Novartis also confirmed they too paid this same firm, this same LLC of sorts, which is Michael Cohen, hundreds of thousands of dollars after the election. For what? John, what do they say?
$200,000 at least from AT&T, and this was at a time when AT&T was seeking government approval for its merger with Time Warner, which also owns the cable network CNN, and then it was $1.2 million paid to Cohen's company over the course of a year by Novartis Pharmaceuticals. AT&T, in a statement telling Fox News, Essential Consulting was one of several firms we engaged in early 2017 to provide insights into understanding the new administration. They did no legal or lobbying work for us, and the contract ended in December of 2017. In a statement to Fox News, which I'm trying to get out of my notes here, give me a moment because the pages are stuck together. Novartis saying Novartis believed that Michael Cohen could advise the company as to how the Trump administration might approach certain U.S. healthcare policy matters, including the Affordable Care Act. But after one meeting, Novartis determined that Michael Cohen and Essential Consultants would be unable to provide the services that Novartis had anticipated related to U.S. healthcare policy matters, and the decision was taken not to engage further. So basically, they gave Michael Cohen $1.2 million for a single meeting, Shep. Things clearly didn't work out. Michael Avenatti will not say where he got the information on the financial records, but again, the Treasury Department's Office of the Inspector General looking into all of that. Shep?
John Roberts will be back live when the briefing begins. First to Bob Bianchi, defense attorney and former prosecutor. To be clear, Russian oligarch and then Novartis says that there was one meeting and they determined, not so much, but they kept paying him every month $1.2 million. The question is, are they giving money for access to Trump, and did any of the money eventually go to Trump?
Well, those are the questions that are unanswered, Shep, and certainly that is something that the FBI not only is looking at, already has looked at. And let's not forget that the charges that are being looked at were remanded back to New York, so they may not have seen anything necessarily with a connection between Cohen's activities and the Trump-Russia investigation. And you know, Shep, what happens in politics and when you investigate political corruption cases is guys like Cohen want to sell, they want to peddle out there like, hey, I've got influence, I've got access, I can help you out. You pay me money, I'll give you the inside track, I'll let you know what the candidate is thinking, I'll let you know how to approach him. It very well could be that these companies went out there for that kind of information, which is on the line of the law, but not necessarily over the line.
Right. You could go to someone close to someone who's making a representation. I got his ear. I'll let you know in advance what he's thinking, and they could pay for that access. When it becomes dicey, well, when it becomes illegal, is if the money changes hands between that person and the person who's now employed by the people of the United States. And that's what we don't know.
Right. And listen, I call it straight as a prosecutor. It's not a Democrat or Republican issue, but when we're jumping to conclusions that somehow Trump even knew what it was that Michael Cohen was doing, because it could very well be that he was just doing this on the side.
Who jumped to that conclusion?
Well, people are saying in the media,
we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's what they're investigating. And one thing we do know is Bob Mueller's ahead of us, because Bob Mueller's team had already interviewed this Russian oligarch who stepped off a plane one day. They tried to, at least. They requested to look at his digital records, his phone. Whether they were allowed to or did or not is another matter. But we know from documents that they requested to. So they're way ahead of public knowledge on this, as they have been throughout all of this.
Yeah, they are way ahead. They have the data. And don't forget, again, after those interviews and after they interviewed the oligarch, what did they do? They didn't retain jurisdiction.
That's right.
It was sent back here, which to me indicates, at least in that aspect, that they're not seeing a connection between the Trump-Russia, quote-unquote, collusion and these payments. It's more of a Michael Cohen problem.
You know, detractors have said, well, that could be that the special prosecutor, or the special counsel in this case, is trying to protect parts of the investigation from maybe the disbanding of the special counsel by putting off parts of this investigation to other entities, including the Southern District of New York.
Right, and it is possible that is true.
We just don't know.
We don't know. And the Southern District may also be told, hey, guys, if you find out a little bit of anything about anything that's going on with these Cohen files, these records, or whatever that you think we need to know about, don't be surprised, Shep, if it winds up back with the Mueller team.